Hi, Ms. Dunbar.
Hi, everyone.
Glad I'm not the only one with their Christmas tree still up.
Yeah.
I took the ornaments off. That's as far as I got.
It's little by little.
Yeah, yeah. So pretty. It's so,
I know. And it's fleeting. It just doesn't last long. I didn't, yeah. I'll get there.
it's gorgeous.
Thank you. Ooh.
So we should be a total of 8 this, no, 7 this evening. So we're just waiting for 3 more people to hop on and then we can get going. It's a pretty short agenda, so I think we can make it through it. Thanks everybody for filling out the survey. That does help, rather than have you all vote while we're sitting here. Here comes Deb.
Would be a dark quarter for it.
Okay, so I think that's all the voting committee members. I know Jim will not be able to join us this evening, and I'm sure Mr. Klaskin will pop on at some point, but it is 4:31, so everyone's ready to get started. I think we can get going. Is everyone ready?
Yes.
Okay. The agenda this evening was fairly simple. First was just kind of to go over some of the input session feedback and then start making some decisions as a committee. And here's Seth, one moment. There, should be rejoining. So thank you all for coming to the public input session. I think there was some good feedback that the committee was able to gather, and I think it, in some ways, it kind of solidified some of what was already known from the group. What I did is I just went through and took your survey and then took the grand total of all the public input and put it in rank order so everyone can kind of see where the names fell in total. So if you give me a sec, I will share my screen and you can take a look at that. All right, so here you can see the public rank order based on the total. You've got it just 1 to 15, and then just the total number of votes that went with each one. And then the committee rank order, thank you everyone for participating. And that was just the grand total of votes per each one. Something to note on the public ranking order, it says down at the bottom, it says, I got approximately 15 or so votes from members of the public that came in, essentially saying, we're not quite sure which location or name we liked best, but we would prefer you pick something like that. So I just kind of set them out in their own category rather than just assigning them to one. So I didn't accidentally weight one too favorably one way or the other. So that's kind of how it shook out. So that I think another important thing to note when you're looking at the names of individuals. Now, this is neither here nor there. I just think it's an important fact for the committee to know. With every name, with the exception of Warner Lord, anywhere from 10 to 25% of all the votes in favor of their name were from an immediate family member or a close family member, which that's not a bad thing by any means, but it's certainly just information I think the committee should have. I believe Warner Lord was the only one where it wasn't any relatives or who had weighed in favor of his name. So that's just something to note for your information when you guys start making some decisions later this evening. Did anyone have any questions on the input or the ranking or anything seem unclear?
No, very helpful.
Okay, then I think important to note the next steps, obviously, for this committee, now that all this input has been gathered, is to decide to select a series of names to recommend to the Board of Education for their then later deliberation and then decision on what they will name the building. By policy, the committee can submit to the board up to 5 names for consideration. So I think, right, just the first question for the committee is, would you like to submit 5 or would you like to submit 3? Does anyone have a strong feeling either way?
I think 3 might be appropriate.
I agree.
Does anyone else have strong thoughts on that?
I defer to Kathy on that as, what would be most helpful for your final decision making. So if Kathy says 3, I'm very comfortable with that.
Yeah, I just feel like, again, I think it just makes sense to keep it minimal. Then there's not as much, conversation needed. I think 3. Yeah.
Millie, as chair, do you have anything you'd like to add?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, I was thinking if we have a lot of strong options and we can't seem to decide between more, then let's definitely not hold back something that we think would be a really good option. But if we have 3 solid ones that stand out above the rest, then let's definitely go with 3.
Okay. Well, then, to that end, would anyone like to throw out, well, say just ones that you would like to see put forward to the Board of Education for
I think
consideration?
Neck River would be a good one to put forward.
Okay.
I think Hammonasset is a good one to put forward.
Okay.
I agree with that. I think Hammonasset is a really good one.
I think if we want to send a name as one of our choices, it looks like Taffy Bows is the highest both on our list and the public list. So that makes sense as a top name, a person.
Yeah, I think it's probably a good idea to throw at least one person in the mix. I'm just getting the sense that a lot of people feel like it shouldn't be a name. But there are a lot of strong feelings about a name. So having one name and making it be the one that is the highest on both lists, I think is a really fair way to do it.
I agree with that. I think though we definitely saw a lot of support for Kokoruda too. But I understand some people might be apprehensive of that for reasons that she was involved in politics and she has less votes. But overall, I think if we are going to pick a name, it would be really important that maybe we choose a female, because we don't have any schools named after females right now. And although, I mean, there was so many moving speeches about the people that were presented, but I think when we come down to it, I mean, these are going to be elementary school kids, and they're not going to know as much about these people as the people in the community now do. So I think just having a female name, if we were to name it after someone, would be really important.
I love that.
All right, well, right there we have 3. Does anyone else have strong feelings about another name they'd like to add or endorsement of the 3? Open it up to the floor here.
I'd like to just say that it's interesting how the selection played out publicly and also on the committee. I think a lot of us heard that there was a strong vocalized sentiment that we not name the school after someone, and especially after anybody who has not had experience actually educating in the district. A couple of the names may have some political controversy to them, but those aren't among the names that are among the top three we're discussing now. Certainly Taffy Bowes spent time teaching in the district and spent a lot of time working with students and kids in our town, and hand in hand with the district. So I don't see that one as being as controversial, even though I tend to kind of feel like we should use a place or locality name because it's just generally less divisive. But those three I'm happy with. I don't get a vote, so I wanted to articulate what my feeling is from the Board of Ed.
Something to also consider is there the possibility of naming a part of inside the building after a person if it doesn't get the vote and people feel strongly? A coworker had mentioned that the library, for example, you could name it after somebody who maybe has contributed, has taught, and doesn't get selected. So maybe that's something that can be thought about as well as another option.
Yeah, board policy certainly allows the Board of Education to do that, no doubt about it. And just quickly to interject for a technical thing, Jess, if you're trying to join, just accept the nomination to be a panelist. Or if you'd like to speak, you can raise your hand and I can call on you. Just use the raise your hand function. There we go. All right, Jess, go ahead. You can unmute and speak. All right. Well, while we're waiting for her to connect, does anyone else have strong feelings or thoughts on how on the three, on anything else they might want to see added?
No, but I thought that was an amazing point about naming sections of the school, because I don't know, I've just been feeling like it is so hard to pick a person because they all did such great things, and but so not picking to name the whole school after someone, but just maybe naming the library or the gymnasium after them would be a great option.
Did anybody want to talk more about, there was, I believe it was Shoreline also had 3 votes from the committee. It was the one name that got the most votes that we haven't talked about. I don't know if.
I think there's other things named Shoreline where it might be confusing. I think that was part of the reason in previous conversations we thought maybe going with the other ones.
Okay. I love the 3 that we have highlighted so far.
Same.
Yeah, I love the name Shoreline, but I always come back to the fact that it's not on the shoreline, and it's not really that close to it either. So.
Oh no, did we lose Zoe?
Yeah, it looks like she froze,
yeah.
and then she handed off the meeting to Kathy. Kathy, you're in charge.
Never leave me in charge. Lots and lots of things can happen when that happens.
It'll turn into book club.
Right? I wonder, there she
There
is.
she is.
Yeah.
You're back.
So at this point, you should really know not to leave me in charge. I don't know really what happened. She lost her mind for a moment. Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
Oh, she's still having difficulty.
There she is.
No.
Still can't hear you, Zoe. Sorry.
It's weird how it was working and just cut out though. I've never really seen that.
Mm.
I think she's going to log in with her phone for audio.
Mhm.
And I want to hear what Jess Joseph had to say too. We never.
Yeah.
Yeah, what happened?
This makes me feel back in COVID days, how it was teaching. Except there's no cats in the screen.
No cats. I can definitely fix that though. I'm happy to sort that out. Yeah.
Thank you. That's why you're in charge, Kathy.
Everybody get your cat and some wine.
Everyone except me.
Yes. You 18-year-old.
I'll drink coffee with you. Yes. Yes,
Oh.
I think so. I'd like everybody to know I've been officially asked to take over and have us vote.
Huh,
You
than me.
All right. So I guess what we are officially voting on, so you can do this for me, is are we good with those three? Is Hammonasset, Neck River, Taffy Bows, which I learned today, Zoe told me her real name is actually Marguerite. So it might be like Marguerite Bows Elementary School. TBD. Are we good with those three? Any further discussion?
I think I'm good with those three. No
Okay.
further discussion.
So
Agreed.
all those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. See, I could be a
Yeah.
board chair.
Did we
Look
see,
at you.
did we see Amelia's vote?
We can't.
Yeah, because she's Amelia, you're
You're muted.
muted.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
I said aye.
Great.
Excellent.
So it's unanimous among
Unanimous.
the voting members.
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay, so I'm hoping it'll be okay. Zoe can send those three forward. I do have intel from Zoe too. She said she was working on the bones of a PowerPoint, Amelia, that we could use next Tuesday night to present to the board meeting. And as our committee chair, Amelia, you could be tasked with doing the presentation if you would like. You don't have to. Any one of us could do it, or two of us if you want to partner, but it would technically kind of be Amelia's first pick. The PowerPoint slides, I haven't seen them, but I think from what Zoe was kind of alluding to, it's talking about our process, what meetings we had, how many meetings, how much community input, voting on things, maybe looking at some of the lists, and then ultimately presenting our three names. I don't think it needs to be anything more than a 5 or 10 minute presentation, nothing super lengthy, but Millie, what are your thoughts on being the presenter Tuesday night?
Yeah, I'd be happy to. If anyone else wants to join in and thinks they have something to say, they absolutely can. But yeah, I'd be happy to.
Well, you take the lead. I'll be there. So if I can chime in if anything pops up, but
And I'll be there too. So we
Me
can,
too.
yeah, we got you.
yeah. So my guess is
Sounds
Zoe will be
great.
in touch as she sort of fleshes out the rest of the slides.
Awesome.
Okay, that was all that we had on our agenda. Anything else that people would like to comment or chat about?
I just want to thank everybody. This process has been very fair. open, transparent, public, a lot of public input. Great job chairing, Millie. Thank you very much. Zoe, thanks for all the excellent assistance and support. And good job, guys. I think that's a good result.
I think we did a great job, and I second that. Zoe, all the behind the scenes surveys and charts and tallies and 200 emails. It was a big job. You made it very easy for us. You just
And involving the students too. I thought that was cool.
we did have fun with that at Jeffrey.
Yeah.
And I think Ryerson did too. So I'll have to go back and look at the list and see. Hammonasset
I don't
probably
think-
was definitely on the, I don't think Neck River was, and I don't think Taffy Bowes was. Would have been cool if a student name was picked, but what are you gonna do? Yeah. But the kids will be excited when we can circle back to them and actually make the announcement and start on color schemes and logos and mascots and signage and branding, all that stuff.
Well, the cool thing is our kids will be, at least the kids at that school, will have to learn how to spell their school name if it's
Yes.
Hammonasset, right? I guess that's better than the state fish of Hawaii having to learn that in first grade.
I think it's a great phonics moment,
There we go.
just a phonics moment. Syllables and double
Yeah.
letter, double consonants, and we'll be all over the joint with that one.
It could be a sight word for them. It could be all the.
Sight word. Longest sight
So
word
much, so
ever.
much.
All right. Well, it was a pleasure working with you all. Thank you so
As
much.
well. Thank you,
Thank you
Millie.
all.
Thank you, everyone.
Happy New
Thank
Year.
you for sharing.
New
All
Year.
right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.